And I'm back with my cup of coffee. Let's go with color number 1 and then your 2mm tool. And then we're going to dot an outline for the moon all the way around. So I just went to go and make myself a cup of coffee. And I saw, because I love jawbreakers. I really love jawbreakers. Whenever I see them, I buy them. And we've got so many awesome flavors. And I really like the fireball one. So it's like a burny cinnamon flavor for those of you who don't know. And yesterday I reached into the fireball box and out comes a black cherry flavor. I've had it before, but I couldn't remember. Oh, it was so good. And then with the other boxes, there was an ice cream flavor. And then there was a sour one as well. So I bought both of those. It's so funny. I don't like the gum in the center. I just like the candy on the outside. So I'll suck it until I get to the gum and then I'll just like throw it away. Remember to redip your tool between every dot, and if you see that your dots are getting larger, then you know you've got some paint buildup on your tool, and then you just need to wipe it off to reset the size. So what I'm going to do here, so I want to make sure that my moon ends on a dot instead of 2 dots. So I'm going to do that one first. I'm going to see I can probably fit in 3 in here. So then I'm going to do those. Okay. And then carry on with my moon on the other side. There we go. So it makes a nice point. I just can't tell you guys enough how excited I am about receiving my tools. I've been wanting to make a set for a while now, because you know the bamboo tools are great, but it's still wood, so it doesn't last as long as I would have liked it to. So I took all of the aspects of the bamboo tools and I brought them into these tools here. And a bit of extra. I mean, you've got to level up, be it in your dot art, be it in your products, your videos, whatever it is you're doing, always got to level up. Oh yes, this is looking pretty good. Why does this look skew? To go off the line there a little bit. Okay, let me clean that up. Here we go. That looks a bit better. It still has a bit of a dent. Do you know what I tell my students? I tell them if you want perfect, you should go and print it. Don't you guys think that's true? Because this is still handmade. I know we reach for perfection. Yes, we do. But it will never be. As much as we want it, it will never be. unless you see your imperfections as perfections. It was really hard. I mean, because a lot of us are so OCD. I even point that out in my workshops when someone is very OCD. It's like, oh, we have another OCD person here. Many of them are so, because yes, we look at our works close up as we work on them. But when you look at them hanging on a wall, they look so much different. Then it's like, oh, actually it's not that bad. Oh, look, I actually like my piece. Okay, so I've decided to make these moons solid as well, which we're going to do all of them in white. So color number 1. I'm going to use my 19mm tool to dot this one. I'm going to double dot it. Full moon. There we go. I think that looks good. And then we're going to fill in the moons. I'm going to again use my smallest tool. Well, it's the 0.5 instead of the 0.2. Almost too much paint there. You see, this is exactly what I mean by you have to be really careful when it comes to smaller spaces. Great, I'm liking those moons. Let me just move this around slightly so I can just fall flat a bit. So we just have some consistency with the moons around it. Okay, so we're going to dot a petal. I'm going to start with color number 2, which is my wave blue. And my 6mm tool, and on the straight line right here on the inside, I'm going to make a dot there. Then I'm going to use color number 3 and ball tool formal. I'm going to start on the straight line, 1 2 3 4 5 6 down. I'm going to dip it again on the same one. 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 down like that. I'm going to move on to color number 4, and this time around I'm going to use my 5mm ball tool. I'm going to do the same thing. 2 3 4 5 6 7 dots there. Four, 5 6 7. So you want to go all the way to the base. I think that's the big thing. Then using the 4mm flat tool and color number 2, I'm going to do a dot there, and then I'm going to use my 5mm ball tool again, and then I'm just going to walk the dots down the side. 3 4 5 6 7 down on each side. Then we're going to jump to the 5mm flat tool, and that's going to be color number 3. I'm going to space it out so that it fills this space here. Do 5 on top, and then you're going to do 4, 1 on each side. And then with your 5mm ball tool, if you don't have the 5mm ball tool, you can do a 3mm dot, and then you can walk the dog down with your 3mm ball tool, the one which everybody's got. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always try and keep the numbers the same on both sides because that just gives a little bit of a better consistency with your design. Now I think we should do a nice long swoosh down the sides. So I'm going to go with my 4mm because I think 5 is too large to fit in here. That's going to be color number 4. So I'm going to use the 4mm tool and just make the start of the swoosh. So up here, right. And then if you don't have my paint bottles, you can just add some more with your tool, else you can give it a 3mm ball size paint blob. And then again your smallest tool. So you want to grab, because we've got a long way to travel, you're not going to put your tool in the center of the paint blob, but we're going to put it at the far end so we can pull more paint. So you're going to do that kind of thing. Pull it twice, you can pull it again. I'm actually going to add a bit more paint and then pull it one more time so it reaches the base of the petal. So there we go. How's that for a nice swoosh? Again, the 4mm. So the 4mm is just giving us the swoosh start size so that it's nice and consistent, like so. Again, start from this side and then pull it down. So we're going to pull it about 3 times and then add a bit more paint. I want to go a little bit larger with the swoosh. So now I'm going to do the 5mm, and that's going to be color number 2. And then again a 4mm blob if you're using a nozzle bottle. Time should reach the bottom, and then I'm just going to straighten out the little indents at the top so that the swoosh and the millimeter blend nicely. Using color number 2 and your 6mm tool, we're going to create a petal on each side again. Your 4mm ball tool and color number 3. So just like we did the first time. 3, 4, 5. Redot. 2, 3, 4, 5. Color number 4 and your 5mm ball tool. Like I said, if you don't have, then just use your flat tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can just fill it in with the ball tools as your dots get smaller. So 4mm and color number 2. And then our 5mm ball tool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 5mm and then color number 3. And then we're going to go to the 4mm flat tool. The fanciest tool of them all, the 4mm. I love my 4mm joke. And then my 5mm ball tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to grab our 4mm tool and color number 4. And this time the swoosh is going to come from the bottom. I'm going to do a 5mm dot this time with color number 2, and then again the 4mm ball tool, color number 3, then the 5mm ball tool, color number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to use my 3mm tool and color number 2, and then I'm just going to place a dot on top there, and here, and then I'm going to use my 4mm ball tool, and then I'm just going to walk the dog down both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it's getting more compressed on this side, you have to stretch the dots out on the other side in order to make them fit and have the same number, which is fine. It's just we have to adjust for the moon. Again, with our 4mm tool, we're going to make swooshes, one on each side. And color number 2. Sticking to color number 2 and using the 4mm tool, we're going to do a swoosh inward. So get it quite close to the dot there. And then again your 4mm tool, and it's going to be color number 3. So I'm going to do one on each side. This time I'm going to drag it as close to the swoosh next to it as possible so that they start bending inward. And then you'll see we can do one more swoosh on that side. We're going to use our 5mm flat tool and we're going to go back to color number 2. See, so here you don't need as much paint because they're not going to travel all the way to the inside. And also I'm dragging it from the center, and then I'm just evening out those little indents, and I'm trying to get them quite close to the swooshes next to it on both sides. Your 4mm, and on the pencil line, one on each side. And then we're going to use our 3mm ball tool and color number 3. And we're going to walk the dog again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with color number 4, same tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to use our 6mm tool and color number 2, and we're going to fill this whole point with a swoosh. I just think that will round it off nicely. See, this one is going further because there's more space available. That's fine. I'm just going to use my super tiny end. I'm going to drag it in there. Bother, I just dropped my phone trying to record this and then it just damaged this piece here, but I'll touch it up. I'll touch it up. So color number 2 and your 3mm tool, we're just going to fill in these little open spots. 3mm is not going to fit in there, so we're going to move down to a 2mm and then one over here and on the other side, just to fill in those little open spaces we've got there. A 4mm color number 2, and then the swoosh is, you don't even need extra paint really on it because the swoosh is so short, and it's just going to go to there. And then I'm going to walk the dog in this little open space here. I think we should use our 2mm ball tool. Yes. And color number 3. Just going to do 1, 2, 3 dots in there. And on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Just one in here on both sides. And then between the swooshes here, let's do color number 4 and then use our 2mm tools. Some dots in this little nook and cranny over here. I also think we should do some top dots though, so let's do 4mm top dots for these 3 here, and we'll actually do that in color number 1. And we're going to jump down to the 3mm for those ones because they are slightly smaller, like so. I like that, it's coming together nicely. I think that looks good. I think that would complete our moon.